In this video, I show you how to properly set goals at work and give you some examples of goals that might be interesting for your goal setting approach. Hi all, I'm Leah, working in the financial services industry as a consultant and have been setting professional goals for my entire career. So in the following, I will share with you what you need to prepare before setting your goals at work, how you should set them, and what to do afterwards. So let's go. Before you can set your goals at work for the next period or year, you need to make sure you have full transparency and knowledge about the following 3 things. First, make sure you know about your company's, departments, and team goals. Only by knowing what the overarching goals of your organization are, you can define your own personal goals that help reaching these bigger ones. So always remember, to succeed and advance in your job, it is crucial to help your manager, team lead, or head of department to succeed. So by contributing to their success, you are at the same time building your own. Second, you should also know where you currently stand. So make sure, having reviewed your prior year's goals, and know if you've achieved, over, or underachieved them. Only if you know about your point of departure, you can set your future goals correctly. Most importantly are the learnings you retrieve from reviewing your prior year's goal achievement. Regardless of the outcome, you can ask yourself why certain things turned out to be successful or not, why certain projects could not be delivered on time or were perfectly on time, or why some client pitches did not or did not work out the way you expected. In any case, you should take these learnings and carry them over in your goal setting process for the next year. So for example, account for more time for certain projects or larger dependencies. And besides knowing where you currently stand, you should know where you are heading. So do you plan to stay within that company and position for the next year or years? Or do you rather plan to move jobs in the near future? Based on your answer to that question, you can then plan your goals at your current job respectively. In case you would want to move and exit the company for another job or employer, you might want to choose a different balance for planning your goals at your current work. So maybe putting a larger focus on further developing soft and hard skills and smoothly finishing up some current projects instead of starting a bunch of new ones. For now, however, let's assume you want to stay in your current job and further advance in your career at your current employer. Having created transparency and knowing the answers to the 3 questions that we've discussed just now, we can start to set goals at work. The following structure is also the one I use to set my goals at work, while I look at these 3 areas: professional, personal, and social goals. Starting with professional goals, which I define as purely work-related goals in line with your projects, deliverables, or activities. For example, you know that your department wants to grow and increase revenues by a certain amount, whilst your projects contribute to that overall goal. Maybe last year you've onboarded 3 new clients, so you could say that you want to acquire 4 new projects with an average deal size of $1 million over the next year. Other examples for such professional goals could be to launch a new website, grow the customer base for an app, launch new products, redefine the department's operating model, increase customer engagement, increase the speed of processing, hire new employees, set up new partnerships, or anything like that. Obviously depending on your niche and role and responsibilities. Just make sure that you set your goals in a smart way, such that they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If you want to know more about how that's being done, check out this video where I go into all of the details. Now let's look at your personal goals, which I define as the soft and hard skills you need to achieve your professional goals or that are beneficial for their delivery or performance. For example, for acquiring new clients and projects, you know that very good storytelling skills in the first place as well as great negotiation skills in the second place are required. So you could set yourself the personal goal to improve both your storytelling and your negotiation abilities. Again, make sure to make these goals as smart as possible, in particular that they're specific, measurable, and time-bound. So be as precise as possible and make sure you can track and follow up on your goals during the entire process. Admittedly, that's quite difficult, especially for soft skills, but you can and should still try to do that. For example, by saying that you're going to conduct a 1-week training on negotiation skills in the first quarter of the year and achieve on average a 1% better profit margin for the deals you are negotiating compared to the ones of last year. Other examples for hard skills could be improving your knowledge in a certain tool or technology, learning another coding language, improving your financial modeling or PowerPoint skills, or anything like that. For soft skills, you could say you want to work on your communications or leadership skills, or you want to improve your problem-solving skills or your sense for collaboration. Now moving to the third category, which is social goals. I like to include social goals as well, since they somehow complement your overall personal and professional development, being a part and contributing to the overall organization. I define social goals as goals that are related to the overall stability, well-being and prosperity of the team or departmental environment and atmosphere. You could set, for example, the social goal of introducing or organizing a weekly happy hour within your team. You could volunteer to act as a buddy for new hires to show them around in the organization. You could organize a social impact campaign within your company. You could organize internal training sessions where employees educate others on specific topics, and so on. To think about how important the social aspect within your company is, which activities there are already, or which new topics you could introduce that add value to the team. Of course, social goals are not as important as professional and personal goals, but they still make up an important part of your overall profile and standing. For example, if you would like to further advance your career and make the next bigger career step soon, you should have a well-rounded profile that is not only looking after yourself, but also after the team and its overall well-being. Now you have set your goals in a smart manner, it's time to share and discuss with your manager. Ideally, you do that at the beginning of the year to align your goals with those of your manager and organization. So as I said before, if you make sure to help your boss achieve their goals, you will also have a very good standing and advance your career at the same time. Assuming you have aligned with your manager on your goals, it's time to execute and achieve them. And that's why you should take your goals and break them down into smaller activities and to-dos and put them on a timeline with respective milestones. If you set, for example, 3 sub-goals for each professional, personal, and social goals, you would have 9 overarching sub-goals in total. For each of those 9 sub-goals, you should have a breakdown of activities, dependencies, approvals, and respective milestones that you can ideally put on a timeline as well. So let's take the professional goal where you want to acquire 4 new clients with an average deal size of $1 million over the next year. Underlying activities could be screening the market for suitable target clients, approaching the shortlist of potential clients, having initial discussions, formally pitching to them, negotiating the deal, and finally closing them. So you'd have that set of subsequent activities that you put on a timeline. In doing so, you have full transparency of where you currently stand and are able to track progress towards your goals yourself. Also, you should set up regular catch-ups with your manager to discuss your progressions, achievements to date, and your overall career development. Ideally, you should have these discussions every 3 to 6 months, and at the end of the year, a more comprehensive recap of the entire year to reflect on your overall goal achievement. So if you liked that video, don't forget to comment and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for further videos on personal and career development. Thank you so much, and see you next time.